Simon, can you give me 3 predictions for the next 5 years?
1. At least one broadcast network will flunk. Right now, CW. I think CW is on the edge of the cliff. I know they're going after the young audience, but the shows are not working for the most part. Melrose Place is a disaster. 90210, same thing. I think Aaron Spelling would throw up, and Darren Star would also at both shows, and how they're done. I think CW has a year or two to make it. This may be the final year for CW. If the ratings don't get better, I think that network will drop. If NBC, CBS, ABC decide to go all cable, to have cable their distribution vehicle rather than television stations, then obviously we're going to see a very interesting fight for existence among all television stations, because they will, in a sense, be all independents. And they will have to figure out, what do we do in prime time? What do we do in local pro and beyond news? Can we afford it? So I think one prediction I would make is, I think we unfortunately may see a decline in the overall number of television stations. I do think if that's the case, and we see more of this local news cutbacks, we could see cable pick up the slack. I think you will see more local programs like New York, or networks like New York One, News Channel in Washington, D.C., Chicagoland TV News in Chicago, and so forth. I think there's a big opportunity for local journalism on the all-news level on cable and satellite. I think Fios TV and Uverse are here to stay. Both Verizon and AT&T have the bucks to keep going. You know, they have billions to spend. It may be a loss leader, but they're placing their chips on video. I think interactive television will finally make it. I think the tech is ready, and because of the internet, the public may finally be ready to accept it. So I'm going to go on a limb and say I think interactive TV is going to make it in the next year or two, and it will become a mass market. And finally, I think 3D and home education may be 2 things to watch. There's a consensus now that 3D will get into the home. Hopefully without the glasses. Better if it was without the glasses.
I think so.
But I think there's potential there, and we're already seeing in the movies. I think every animated film from now on will be 3D. As far as home education, I think it's one of the last untapped markets. I really believe that you can make education fun. We've seen that with the internet. We've seen that with before that CD-ROMs and now DVDs. And I think that we could really have a wonderful field if the colleges, universities, and publics and schools in this country, both public and private, really get together and find ways to use television, to use the web, to use interactive TV. Interactive TV may be the catalyst to make a home video market go. And you have companies like Discovery with their Discovery Education Unit that certainly could be big players in making a home education via the television set happen.
Simon, thank you so much. This is a fascinating interview. How can we get in touch with you?
Well, you can get in touch 2 ways. You can listen to my program. Tomorrow will be televised. It's on Mondays at 3 p.m. Eastern, which is noon on the West Coast, on blogtalkradio.com. If you can't catch it live, we're also on selected Fridays as well. If you can't catch it live, you can catch on replay at www.blogtalkradio.com/SimonApple04. We're also on podcast. You can download our show to iTunes, iPhone, iPod, Microsoft Zune. We're working on the BlackBerry and the Palm Pre and a few other things. A wonderful company we work with called Sonobyte puts it together, so you can get to various websites that download. When you do it, you get bios and headshots of our guests. You get scenes from shows they do or networks they run. And we hope the podcast people will tune into the show live, and vice versa. So it's a wonderful roundtable. So there's different ways to catch the show, but we appreciate being live. And you can also email me with comments at simonapple04@yahoo.com. One other thing, I also write a column on a regular basis for jackmyers.com. I've known Jack, one of the great prognosticators, one of the great analysts of the television scene, and you can catch that either at jackmyers.com or MediaBizBloggers.com. And you'll also find out a wide variety of other wonderful commentators who have lots to say about television and media, and I think it's well worth reading.
Long live the writers.